In today's Farm Report, good lighting is important for producers, but having to constantly change out those light bulbs, whether they be fluorescents or metal halogens, because of a short lifespan, can be expensive and time consuming. Emily Wilmus with the University of Minnesota Extension Service Office shares some highlights of new LED technology.
There is no denying the importance of both proper lighting on a dairy farm and saving energy. A lighting product that is becoming increasingly popular on dairy farms is LED lights. LED stands for Light Emitting Diode. Quality LED lights are highly energy efficient, have very long useful lives, operate well in cold temperatures, and are essentially instant-on devices. LEDs can be compact, breakage, and vibration resistant and have no infrared or ultraviolet emissions. They also offer more management options because they can be easily integrated in electronic controllers, including timers, dimmers, or occupancy sensors. A major disadvantage of LED lights is the initial cost of the devices, which is commonly 2 to 3 times more than comparable fluorescent or metal halide lamps. However, they have a much longer useful lives, 60,000 to 70,000 hours, compared to 12,000 to 25,000 hours. This reduces both replacement lamp cost and labor costs to replace those lamps. In addition, the higher energy efficiency of good quality LED lights can be very economical. Something to keep in mind when shopping for any new technology is the variable product quality, performance, and energy efficacy that comes with any new or changing technology. High-quality LED products meet or exceed the performance of fluorescent and metal halide lights, but poor-quality LED products will have poor performance. Dairy barns and milking centers are damp and dusty, so it's crucial to purchase lights that are designed for that kind of environment. Be sure to work with reputable suppliers and make sure that energy and cost comparisons are done using the same units of measurement for all products, i.e. lumens, lumens per watt, etc. In addition, check with your utility to see if they offer a rebate program for energy-efficient lighting. If you have any additional questions about LED lighting, feel free to call me at the Stearns County Extension Office at 320-255-6169. This is Emily Wilmus with University of Minnesota Extension.
Agriculture Secretary Tom Vilsack on Wednesday announced that Lannon Backum will be the USDA's Deputy Undersecretary for Farm and Foreign Agricultural Services, overseeing the Farm Service Agency and Risk Management Agency, and the USDA's Military Veterans Agricultural Liaison. Backum, a U.S. Army and Iowa National Guard veteran, takes the positions following the departure of Karis Gutter. Backum, a native of Mount Pleasant, Iowa, is a military veteran and spent 8 years in the United States Army and the Iowa National Guard and was deployed to Afghanistan in 2004 through 2005. During his time in the Army, Backum held leadership roles as a unit movement officer and served as a combat engineer in charge of explosive demolitions. Backum previously served as the Director of Scheduling in Advance in the Office of the Secretary at the USDA. Prior to his role as director, Backum served as a special assistant in the Foreign Agricultural Service and as an executive assistant to the Secretary. Prior to joining USDA, Backum worked in the Iowa state government and for several state and national political campaigns. Backum is a graduate of Drake University in Des Moines. He lives in Washington, D.C. with his family. When you hear the word cooperative, do you think about agriculture? Well, as Rod Bain with the U.S. Department of Agriculture reports, you might be buying food and even power from a rural cooperative and not even know it. And of course, these co-ops boost the rural economies where they serve. Rod Bain with the USDA has more.
Many people who hear the term cooperative in the context of a business model, maybe even you, may associate it with agriculture. And it is true that many cooperatives are connected to farming and ranching. Names you recognize like
Land O'Lakes, our Ocean Spray.
Sam Rickers says many familiar businesses in our daily lives are cooperatives, and we may not realize it.
People don't understand that if they're a member of a credit union, that too is a cooperative.
Other examples include co-ops that provide telecommunications, healthcare, and energy services. And Sam Rickers, as the acting administrator of USDA's Rural Business Cooperative Service, knows the value of cooperatives of all kinds, especially those supporting local and regional economies. And during the month of October, traditionally proclaimed National Rural Cooperative Month, the recognition broadens to cooperatives' role in the national economy.
The net incomes from co-ops increased this year 16.5% to $6.5 billion.
Generating almost $247 billion with a B dollars in total revenue in 2014. That's the fourth consecutive year co-ops set both income and revenue records, and that comes despite a reduction of the number of cooperatives nationwide from the previous year. Now, as far as supporting rural co-ops, both existing businesses and new organizations, Rural Development and the Rural Business Cooperative Service offers many levels of support. For starters,
we have a couple programs that are on the grant side, which are really providing grants to institutions like universities or other private bodies that really help develop rural cooperatives.
The Rural Cooperative Development Grant Program is an example. From 2013, a grant was awarded to the Northeast-based Cooperative Development Institute. Part of the grant was used to assist workers from 3 main stores offering local residents groceries, home and hardware supplies, pharmaceuticals, and gasoline that were going out of business. The goal of the employees was to form their own cooperative and keep the businesses operating.
One of the resources they utilized was the Cooperative Development Institute. The employees worked with CDI and ultimately purchased those stores that were privately held. And so the former employees are now the proud owners of the Island Employee Cooperative, which is the largest worker cooperative in Maine.
The Rural Business Cooperative Service also offers a wide range of educational support and technical assistance to both existing and startup co-ops and the institutions that support them.
We also have a whole education and research side of the Rural Business Cooperative Service. They are working to collect and disseminate important statistics about rural cooperatives. They publish quarterly magazine and other educational materials, which really provide information that help co-ops start and provide ways that co-ops can learn how to run more effectively and efficiently.
I'm Rod Bain reporting for the U.S. Department of Agriculture in Washington, D.C.
The United States International Trade Commission this week affirmed that Mexico's sugar industry has harmed American producers by selling subsidized sugar into the United States at below market prices. It's a practice known as dumping. The ruling means that an agreement signed by the U.S. and Mexican governments to establish a trading structure that caps Mexican imports and stops Mexico's abuses will remain in effect for at least 5 years. This according to the American Sugar Alliance. U.S. sugar refineries and big users of the sweetener have said a ruling such as the ITC released this week would limit supplies and keep sugar prices artificially high.